Hey guys, it's Liz, and I'm here to share with you my latest project for SaCrafters shop here on Zibbet. This is my design team project for the month of September, and this time I decided to create a little bit of a canvas in the steampunk style. I've been making a lot of pretty things lately, some shabby chic and vintage, so I definitely wanted to do something a little bit different. And I meant to get this done a couple of days ago, but as you could probably tell from my voice, I've been, a little sick, so I haven't really been able to finish. So definitely wanted to share this with you guys. And so what I did is, the inspiration for this particular piece actually came from a book, and it's the let me show you real quick. It's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. And if a lot of you guys know steampunk, you know that Jules Verne and steampunk go hand in hand. A lot of the steampunk imagery that we see is influenced by the books by Jules Verne. So I definitely wanted to incorporate both of them together into a piece. And so I started off with a 6x6 canvas, and these are really cool. I picked this up at Walmart, and I like these because they're nice and thick. See how thick they are? I'm just going to show you an overview of the entire thing real quick so you guys can see. But yeah, and these are really cool. You can pick them up at Walmart. They're for like $8, something like that. Really inexpensive, and they're really, really neat. And this one I decided to create a little bit of like you'll see in a minute, but it's like a really cool effect on the inside of the box or canvas. So what I wanted to do is I knew I wanted to use lots of textures and lots of different colors to create this, this look. And what I started off doing is I took pages from the actual book, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and I ripped little parts of the book pages. And I adhered it to my canvas in certain areas. See, there's some there. And of course, a lot of it gets covered up when we add, everything else on top of that. But you can still see some of the book pages. And then what I did is I took this thick tool that I had from my stash. I picked it up at my local craft store. And I like this particular tool because it's nice and thick, and it's got, I guess the texture is a little bit bigger than the regular tool. So I used pieces of that, and I also adhered it all over the canvas using some gel medium. And you can see some of it. Let me see if this will focus. There's some right there, and then some over here. A lot of it all over the place. And then I used this really great stencil that Saw carries in her store. It's called the Random Dots. This one's really neat. I like it because it's got different size dots. Some are bigger and the shapes are a little bit different. It's not so uniform. I really like that about it. So I used that stencil and some modeling paste in different areas on the canvas to, give it this crazy looking look here. And it's a funny story. After I had I'll tell you in a second. But so anyway, so I went ahead and stenciled it using the modeling paste, and then I went to town using different sprays by Lindy Stanking. I used a T-Bird turquoise, I used Grab a Guy gold, I used green envy green with envy green, I believe it's what it's called. And then I also used a little bit of oh gosh, I can't think of the name, maybe South Shore Sand, I'm not 100% sure. But I just sprayed it in random areas. That's how you could see, the colors blending in. And some areas are darker than others because I wiped some of it off with, or lighter than others I should say, because I wiped it off with a towel. In other areas I let it drip down, to just give it a different look. I think it came out really, really neat. I really like it. And, well, the funny story is, I had finished doing my background on the canvas. My older daughter walks in and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just working on this canvas." And she says, "Wow, that looks kind of creepy, like something you dug out from under the sea, deep in the ocean." And I was just like, yes. And I think maybe she thought I would get insulted, but actually that's what I was going for. If you guys have read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, you know that it takes place under the sea in a submarine, and they're looking for, this creature, this giant squid creature. So, I mean, it was exactly what I was going for, and I'm glad that she saw it. So hopefully you guys get it too. And so, like these little random spots here are actually supposed to represent the, the tentacles on the little suction cups on the tentacles of the squid or octopus, whatever you want to call it. So it does kind of look like something from under the sea. I thought that came out really cool. And I wanted to incorporate my Steampunk debutante papers by Graphic 45, which I have never cut into. I've had them a really long time, and I've had a really hard time cutting into them, but I have a lot of it, so I figured, okay, let's start using it. So what I did is I took these two hot air balloons from the collection, and I fussy cut them out. I inked them up with some vintage photo black soot. This one I adhered directly onto the canvas using some hot glue, but this one I did use some foam tape to make it, you know, stand out from the other one. And I have that on here with some foam tape. And before I move on, I forgot to mention the middle part here. What I did is I just cut out my canvas here. I just cut out a circle. I had seen an idea for a card on Pinterest where someone cut out the middle and added like I think like a gear or something to the back of it, and I thought that looked really cool. So I wanted to incorporate it into my canvas. And what I did is I just cut out a circle a little bit smaller than my chipboard gear. And this chipboard gear is from Sa's shop. It's from her gear collection. You get lots of different sizes and shapes. And all I did to this gear is I gave it 2 nice coats of gesso and some snow texture right on top. I hope you guys can see that. There's a lot of it going on. And then once that dried, I painted it with 2 coats of Venetian Gold by Folk Art, and I think it came out really neat. And then all I did is I took my finger and some black gesso and I rubbed it in just random areas on the gear itself. So I think that came out really cool. So it just looks like, you know, like something kind of old and grungy looking, and I think that came out really neat. So I really like that. And of course I did that to all the gears. Here's another one. The same technique here. And then here's a smaller one down here, or up there I should say, and then another one down here. So I did that to all my gears. And then moving on, I'm going to start over here where I had left off. I just have this chain coming out from the hot air balloon, and the chain connects to this little Tim Holtz key that I adhered with some E6000. And then I took a couple of little cute charms that were in my design team package and made my own little charm here. This is really neat, you guys. This is a steampunk clock. Look how cool that looks. I love it. And this is from Sa's mixed clock charm set. And it's really neat. You get tons of clocks, different shapes and sizes and stuff from her little mixed bag set. It's really cool. Same thing with these keys. These keys are really cool. This one's a really small one, but I think I showed you from my design team package. And this is the keys here. So you get lots of goodies, lots of keys in there, different sizes and shapes. This one's really neat. So I used that. And then I also used the cute little bottles that I had in my design team package. These are little glass bottles. Look how cute these are. And on the top, I just applied gesso to the topper, and then I adhered it on there with some glossy accents. And then on the inside, there's just some little mica flakes in a turquoise color to pick up some of the turquoise on the canvas. So that's my little charm. I think it came out really cute. And over here I just have a quote that I printed out from my computer onto some printer paper, and I backed it onto some cardstock using Mod Podge. And I cut it out. I inked all of the edges with brown, vintage brown, and then vintage photo, and some black soot on the edges. And the quote reads, "Anything one man can imagine, other men can make real." And that's a really famous quote by Jules Verne, and I thought it went really well with, you know, the canvas that I was trying to portray. So I added that on there. I think it came out neat. And then over here, of course, here's my little steampunk figurine or dress form, and I think she came out adorable. These are the wood dress forms that Sa has in her shop, and I believe I did show them again on my design team package video, but I'll show you again here. So they look like this, and there's little ones, there's medium ones. Of course I used the larger one, and I think those are so pretty to work with, and they're so fun. And all I did is I inked it up with vintage photo, and I went over it with some crackle accents, and I hope you guys can see some of the crackle on there. I think it came out really neat. And then on top of that, I just used a little bit of black soot to make it stand out more. For her wings, I used some Ranger foil tape. I just adhered a little piece on each side, and then once I adhered it on real nice, I took my X-Acto knife to cut out the shape of the wing, and I made sure that it was, you know, adhered properly, because it tends to kind of try to come off, but if you rub it in real good, it should stay on. And then for the feather details, I took a little itty-bitty toothpick, and I just kind of made some lines all around the wings, all on the wings, to make it look like feathers. I thought that came out neat. And then I just took some black gesso again with my fingers and rubbed it in, making sure I got into all the ridges. And that gives it a really, really cool effect. So it looks like real wings. Here for her corset, this is cut from the Steampunk Debutante collection. It's just one of the little corsets from the collection here. And I just added that on there. I added 2 little layers of black lace for my stash. And then this is that bead chain, the Tim Holtz bead chain. I added 2 little layers of it for her, you know, little steampunk outfit. And I thought she came out really cute. It's very adorable. And then I fussy cut some flowers from the Steampunk Debutante collection. There's one here, and then there's some back here. A lot of it gets covered up, of course. And then I also went ahead and made flowers on my own using my Spellbinders Die Rose creations and some pattern paper from the Steampunk collection. And I made these 3 pretty flowers in different sizes, and I adhered them on there as well. And there's a lot of fussy cutting going on. Some of it got covered up, but there's like a little tag here that I cut out. It's back there. Here's a little steampunk cat, and I added a cute little feather to the top of it, and it's just tucked behind the flowers. And then here's a little pretty butterfly that I added on there as well. And then what I did is, oh, here's a little clock. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's right there in the back. And then what I did for the little leaves, I cut out one of the beautiful flowers from Sa's shop, and I turned them into little leaves. And these are these flowers here, and they're super cute. And they're very thin. The metal's nice and thin, so you guys can just cut them with your scissors. You can use them as flowers, add something in the center. In this case, I used them as little leaves. I just thought it was a cool accent, a metallic accent to, you know, all the paper that was going on, all the paper flowers. So I have some here, okay, and I've got some down here. A little leaf. This one's kind of hidden away, and then there's some over here. I think that came out really pretty. And then I had showed you that little gear that I did tucked away over here as well. But I think it came out really neat. And again, look at all the texture that I did. I think it came out really cool. And then of course for the top, I wanted another element here. So I added this. This is the little Timmy clock. This distressed clock. I just cut it out of chipboard. I inked it first with gold, or not inked it, but painted it with gold. Then I went over with some black. I used some crackle on there in some areas. I hope you guys can see that. And then I also went over the top of that with a little bit more gold, and it just gives it like a really distressed look. And I think it came out really neat. So it's like a really cool steampunk Jules Verne inspired piece. And there's this really cool part. If you guys have read this story, you know that most of it takes place in a submarine. So they're underground, but deep in the ocean looking for this creature. And so I wanted to create this really cool effect. So I'm going to turn off the lights because I got to show you that inside. Give me a second. Okay, so what I did is I added this really cute light on the inside. Let me plug it in. And let me bring this closer so you could see. I wish the bulb was, you know, stronger, but it's not. But anyways, I hope you guys can see inside. But I added a piece of the pattern paper from the Steampunk collection that had fish in it. And so this is like looking out of the submarine, you know, from the window and seeing the fish swimming by. I hope you guys can see that. They're inside. And, you know, of course, you have to have a light to be able to see so deep in the ocean. So, in person, you can see it a lot better. But I know my camera is probably not picking up all the detail. But I thought they came out really cute. So, I just have to have that little light on there. And the little light is from the Tim Holtz, you know, the little lantern. Turn the lights back on. So anyways, that is my piece that I created for Sa's shop. I absolutely love the way it came out. Like I said, I had been making such, you know, pretty little things lately that I wanted to create something a little bit different. Something using a lot of texture and a lot of metallic elements, and I just love the steampunk style. I don't do it enough, and I really need to. It was so much fun to work with, and all the beautiful pieces from Sa's shop, the little things here, the little charms, the little chipboard gears. I forgot to mention that I had used some of them on top right here as well. but everything is just really, really neat. I had so much fun working with all the goodies from the Sauce store. So I really hope you guys like my project. If you have any questions or comments, just let me know. Leave me a comment. I always get back to you guys. Just let me show you again real quick my little project here. Tons of fun. And I don't know if I showed you the back, but the back is just basically a piece of the pattern paper. And I cut out a little hole for that wire to come through, for the light, so I could plug it into the battery pack. But really simple. I thought it came out really neat. And you guys have to go check out Sauce shop. She has some amazing goodies right now. Lots of wood pieces, metal pieces, chipboard, everything you can think of. And Halloween is right around the corner, and she's got a lot of Halloween stuff right now too. So definitely go check out her shop. And I guess that's it. Thank you so much. Excuse my voice. I know it sounds funny, but I just wanted to share this with you. I didn't want to let another day go by without, having to share. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. And hope you guys like my piece. Anyways, I will see y'all real soon. Bye-bye.